When our dad had heart problems, we both studied medical textbooks, but she full-on memorized them and decided to go into cardiology. And then, I think, stuck with it mostly because wants to be a doctor looked so impressive next to valedictorian on our graduation program. So as I stared at the mountain of library books on my desk, after just one day of term, I wondered what crossed wire had landed me at the very top university in the world, when Lacey always had the edge in the superstar stakes, even if she was the only one who thought of it that way. My relatively brief settling-in period had ended when the calendar flipped to October, bringing with it the beginning of term. Oxford calls it first week, and a raft of stern lectures from the academic fellows on the rigors of independent study, a stultifying pile of reading with which I had to be conversant in a hurry, and warnings from Nick's personal protection officers about acting completely normal, yet maintaining constant vigilance. I needed moral support. But Lacey needed dish, and Lacey is good at getting what she wants. "So how many times have you hooked up exactly?" she pressed. "It's barely even an interesting amount," I hedged. "You're the artist," Lacey said. "Paint me a picture." Bed springs creaked through the phone line. I could picture Lacey, the way she talks on the phone, on her stomach, legs bent, covering the receiver with a giggle to repeat what the person on the other end was saying. It was strange being that person, especially because up to now, we'd always dissected our romantic lives over a messy plate of cheese and crackers, and that wasn't nearly as fun long distance. "I don't know," I said, pulling open a block of English cheddar. 3-ish. Okay, 4. Anyway, you should see the beard on my history fellow. 4 times in like 10 days? You must be into him, Lacey squealed. "No," I said, perhaps a bit too loudly. "It's casual. We're young. Consequence-free making out is the entire point." "You're such a guy sometimes." I could practically hear Lacey roll her eyes. I did hear Lacey tapping away on her laptop. "It's super frustrating that I can't find anything but grainy pictures of him on the internet," she said. "The whole point of Google is stalking your sister's foreign hookups." "He's dishy. You'd approve," I said, lifting up my cheese plate to pull my quilt over my toes. My radiator had one setting, inefficient. Kind of a Clark Kent type. "Ooh, I do approve," Lacey said. Then her tone turned wistful. "I can't believe I'm not there, or that you're not here. It's so bizarre. I feel like half my inner monologue went silent." Before Oxford, the longest Lacey and I had been apart was 8 hours. We picked wildly divergent bedroom decor, yet ended up sleeping in the same room every night rather than retreating to our separate corners. Her school schedule never aligned with mine, but by dinner time, we'd snap back into place like a rubber band. We'd go to the same summer camps, and I'd bring home demerits for skipping sessions to skinny dip in the river, while she'd have an armload of excellence awards and sheaves of phone numbers from excited acolytes she'd immediately forget. It was enough to have secured them. We never deliberately froze anybody out, but it was challenging for other people to get very close. Scientists needed 50 years to split the atom. Our classmates didn't stand a chance. Neither had boys. Lacey always dated whatever guy was currently the hottest commodity. Our school's all-state point guard, or the kid who won a ton of cash on high school Jeopardy, and I'd drift along with whatever +1 of his she fixed me up with, and inevitably our double dates would turn into them staring awkwardly off into space as Lacey and I monopolized each other's conversation. In fact, our classmates voted us cutest couple, and I don't think it was a joke. I even dumped my freshman year boyfriend at Cornell when I overheard him referring to Lacey as the Trojan, because as he disparagingly told his fraternity brother, she was around so much that she was the world's most effective birth control. So I don't think Lacey quite believed it when I announced my England